The main USP of the Vivo X60 Pro is the camera. Of course, the smartphone is a flagship grade device, comes loaded with all the bells and whistles, and I'm surely going to talk about all of that in this video. But above everything, it is the cameras that stand out on the Vivo X60 Pro, especially that Gimbal Stabilization 2.0. So how does it hold up? We're about to find out. Hello everyone, my name is Aman Rashid, you're watching Mr. Phone, and this is my review of the Vivo X60 Pro. But before we start, please go ahead and subscribe to the Mr. Phone YouTube channel if you're new here, and do hit that bell icon so that you're notified whenever a brand new video drops. With that said, let's get started. If you're watching this video, then I'm sure you're most curious to know about the smartphone's camera performance, and if you ask me, to be honest, I don't have any major complaints in terms of photos and videos that come out of this camera. It's just that the color science that Vivo prefers, it's a little over the top for my taste. I'm going to explain this in detail, but first the specifications. The main camera is a 48 megapixel unit. This is the Sony IMX598 image sensor, and this is also the camera that utilizes the Gimbal Stabilization 2.0 tech. Accompanying the main camera are a couple of 13 megapixel sensors. That is, you're getting an ultra wide lens that also doubles up as a macro camera, while the other one is a 2x telephoto lens. And by the way, both of these lenses don't have gimbal stabilization or optical image stabilization. Okay, while you look at these photos, no doubt that the camera does a great job when it comes to capturing still images. Especially, you'll notice that the photos look detailed and the colors look ever so punchy. Well, that's what I want to talk about, the colors. See, when you compare these photos with the ones taken from an iPhone 12, you will straight away notice the color disparity. While no doubt that the images taken from the X60 Pro looks vibrant, I think that the iPhone photos were true to source and look more natural. So overall, as you just saw, the Vivo X60 Pro performs really well when it comes to still photography. It's just that it all boils down to the color science and whether you prefer it or not. So a quick question, do you prefer vibrant tones over natural tones in your photos? Let me know in the comments. Apart from this, even for photos taken at night, I would say good performance, but it could get better. See, I think the photos are a bit on the warmer side, and because of that, the white balance doesn't look accurate. Otherwise, details, sharpness, exposure are bang on, full points there. Okay, now on to the video recording bit, and before I show you the samples, do note that this phone can shoot videos at up to 4K 60 FPS with standard stabilization, and if you want the gimbal stabilization, in that case the video output is restricted to 1080p 60 FPS. With that said, here are some samples. Okay, this sample was shot in 4K 60 FPS, and to be honest, I can't deny that I like it. The video quality looks top notch, and yes, the colors are on the saturated side, but the overall quality and even the stabilization looks pretty decent, frankly. Now this sample was shot in 1080p 30 FPS, and first of all, bang on stabilization, the best I've ever seen on a phone. Gimbal stabilization simply rocks. And while you might think that the colors look a bit muted, well, they're not. These are actually the real colors. For that matter, just see both the samples again side by side and tell me which one do you like the most. And by the way, I also recorded 1080p videos comparing the X60 Pro and the iPhone 12, so which one do you think is better here? I would actually choose the X60 Pro here. I mean, I can't believe, but it looks like the Vivo definitely does a better job. Colors, stabilization, and especially the movements. The Vivo takes the point here. By the way, there's also a movie setting that lets you add these black bars in your videos to create that cinematic mood. I would say this is not a gimmick, and this is a pretty good addition. Finally guys, I'm about to show you a selfie video sample, so definitely check it out and let me know about the overall quality, what you think about it in the comments, and also let me know what do you think about the general treatment of selfie cameras on flagship phones these days. Watch this clip. Hello everyone, shooting the front-facing video sample on the Vivo X60 Pro. It's quite a windy day over here in New Delhi, and right off the bat I can say that the details and colors look good, but I do have a few problems with the front-facing video recording capabilities of the Vivo X60 Pro. First, I think manufacturers need to start focusing on the front-facing cameras as well. As you can see, the stabilization is not up to the mark. So good work, Vivo, that you have done for the rear camera. You are offering good stabilization at the rear, but the same, a little attention to the front camera would have, worked wonders. And considering this phone is offered at a flagship price point, because it's a flagship smartphone for about 50,000 rupees, I was expecting a bit more, in terms of stabilization. Also, for that matter, colors and everything are looking good, but dynamic range could have been slightly better. That just look behind me, so you can see, guys, what I'm talking about. So overall, I would say this is a decent camera. See, it's recording good video at the end of the day, but stabilization, dynamic range for a 50,000 rupees phone, I think that could have been much better. So those were the cameras on the Vivo X60 Pro. I would say pretty decent performance overall, and the gimbal stabilization is truly mind-blowing. Now for the rest of the phone, here's what I think. See, the Vivo X60 Pro is a gorgeous smartphone and a comfortable one when you hold it in the hand. It is slim, it is light, and the company has done a good job here. The 6.56-inch display is one of the best AMOLED screens that you can get right now, and the 120Hz screen refresh rate is just the icing on the cake. My only gripe would be the ghost touches, but I think that's the nature of curved displays and the price we are paying for the phone to look cool. Other than that, lack of an IP rating is a bit disappointing. No headphone jack as well, but I can't think of a flagship phone that offers it these days. By the way, this phone also lacks a micro SD card, which is not a major problem, to be honest, considering 256 GB on a phone is more than enough. Moving on, there's a 4200 mAh battery under the hood, plus you are getting a 33-watt charger inside the box. Battery life is just satisfactory. While I was able to squeeze out a full day out of it, I knew if I wanted to kill it early, I could. And I get it, this could be partly true because the 4200 mAh cell doesn't seem enough for the hardware that it's driving, and of course, the phone is unapologetically thin. So yeah, there's that. Charging times are fine. I say it takes about 75 minutes to go from 0 to 100. Would have loved to see the 55-watt charging tech here as well, just like the X60 Pro Plus, but never mind. Apart from this, you are also getting the new Snapdragon 870 chip that this phone is rocking. In terms of variants, there's only one. You're getting 12 GB of RAM plus the 3 GB extra virtual RAM coupled with 256 GB of non-expandable storage. For those who don't know about the virtual RAM concept on the Vivo X60 Pro, well, I've talked about it in the first impressions video of the smartphone, so I urge you to go and check out that video. It will be appearing right now somewhere here in the card above. So check this video out and definitely come back after that and finish watching this video as well. Okay, performance benchmarks. Here's the Antutu score, here's the Geekbench score, and finally here's the AndroBench score. Have to say that it was a good showing in the benchmarks, and to be honest, the numbers are backed in the real world as well. The Vivo X60 Pro is an absolute champ in handling anything that you can throw at it. I mean, this could partly be true because of Vivo's OneTouch OS 11.1 that is based on Android 11, because animations and transitions are smooth AF. No stutters, no slowdowns, everything feels light and snappy. The phone can also run all the games you can think of. Call of Duty, check. Asphalt 9, check. Genshin Impact, check. And of course, if you have any other game in mind, I'm sure this phone will be able to handle it. Now do note that this phone does get slightly warm when you put serious load on it. That is when you use the camera for longer sessions or when you have long sessions of gameplay. In those cases, you will notice that it's getting slightly warm to the touch. But don't get me wrong, it does not overheat, and not even a single time I felt that it was getting uncomfortable to hold. Otherwise, FunTouch OS has been great for the most part. It looks very clean, it is responsive without a doubt, and overall no major complaints apart from the two folders, that is hot apps and hot games. Like, these are top level bloatware stuff that you can't even remove or uninstall. Besides this, I did not encounter a single ad on the smartphone, so that is great. And as for the spam notifications, well, I disabled those notifications, so fix that there. Finally, all the major Wi-Fi bands are supported on this phone, which is a good thing, but I couldn't find support for 4G carrier aggregation during my testing and couldn't get a clear answer on the same from Vivo as well. Apart from this, the buttons offer amazing tactile feedback. Haptics are fine, but not on par with phones around the 40,000 to 50,000 rupees price point. For that matter, the OnePlus 8T or the Galaxy S20 FE offer better haptics. And for those interested in how the single firing bottom speaker sounds, well, here's a sample. And yeah, that's pretty much about it. I think the main USP about the Vivo X60 Pro, that is the cameras, I feel that the company has done a pretty good 8 on 10 job, although the front camera could be improved in terms of video recording. But apart from this, it is a solid smartphone, and I would have loved to see stereo speakers over here and an IP rating, of course, considering the price is about 50,000 rupees. But overall, I feel this is a decent package. So that was my review of the Vivo X60 Pro. So guys, what are your thoughts on the smartphone? Tell me in the comments and let's have a chat. Of course, you can also connect with me on my social media. The links will be there in the description below. As always, thanks for watching, and for all the latest in tech, stay tuned to Mr. Phone. See you guys in the next one.